As we've been telling you, at this moment, Somali pirates are holding an American captain hostage on the high seas off the coast of Africa. A U.S. Navy plane has the boat in its sight, and also the U.S. Bainbridge has arrived, and that is, of course, a Navy destroyer. As we monitor these developments, let's take a closer look at what could be playing out behind the scenes. With me now from Washington, CNN contributor and former FBI Assistant Director Tom Fuentes, who dealt with many of these kinds of situations. Also joining us, James Christodoulou of Industrial Shipping Enterprises based in Stamford, Connecticut. One of his company's ships was captured by Somali pirates back in November. Now, James, when your ship was captured back in November, right, give us a sense of this whole negotiation, because it wasn't over fairly quickly. It took some time.
No, this type of crisis is very long cycle. It's 24/7. For us, it's stretched on almost 60 days. And in addition to the technical aspects of figuring out how you can still continue to operate the ship and have it safely sail away from the area, it really is very much a human issue. It's people on board. You know, the crew is the primary issue there.
Now, of course, this ship, the mayor is flying the U.S. flag.
That's
was
right.
your ship flying the U.S. flag?
No, we were flying the Liberian flag, and we had an Indian and Bangladeshi crew. But
so any assistance from the military of those countries?
No, you don't really get any government assistance, no military assistance. This is rather unique, this situation with the Maersk, Alabama, in that it's getting so much government and military attention.
You mentioned crew members. I mean, you had to really deal with the families as well over this period of time. Even having to fly to India to talk to someone's grandmother?
That's right. You have to remember that this is really a human crisis. Naturally, there are financial aspects to this whole type of piracy issue, but it's really very, very human. You've got crew members on board, you've got their families that are being traumatized, and as you deal with the pirates and negotiate with them for the safe release of ship and crew, you really have to deal very, very proactively with the families also and calm their very natural emotions.
I want to bring Tom in. Tom, the New York Times is reporting that there are some 16 ships and 200 folks still being held hostage by Somali pirates. Now, how do you deal with that situation? And also, who's in control? Is it the government? Is it in control? Is it the private companies? Who's running the show?
Yes, I'm sorry, Roland. Actually, the companies are basically running the show at this point. It's their ship, and it's in international waters. Now, the United States and many countries have signed a 1988 treaty concerning piracy on the high seas and do have the authority to investigate and later prosecute any act of piracy, even if it's a ship from another country or crew members from another country. But in this situation, the crew is still under the control of the company, and it's up to the company to ask for the assistance at this point.
Now, Tom, have the pirates basically figured out that insurance companies are going to pay up because you're dealing with human issues here, and frankly, it just comes down to money?
Of course. They absolutely know it. They've captured hundreds of ships in the past years. And in every case, the ransom has been paid by the company. All victims have been released unharmed. So it's been very lucrative for the pirates. Now, I should add, it's not unprecedented for the U.S. Navy to be involved in these type of operations. Back in January of 2006, the USS Nassau engaged pirates on the high seas, exchanged shots with them. The pirates quickly surrendered. They captured 10 pirates and also freed 16 crew members, Indian nationality. Those 10 members were transported by the Navy. The FBI also boarded the Nassau and conducted interviews of those subjects. They were transported to Mombasa, Kenya. The Kenyans officially asked the U.S. government if they could prosecute that case and receive assistance from the FBI. And in this case, agents from our office in Nairobi, Kenya, as well as Washington field office here in the U.S., were dispatched to Mombasa, worked closely with the prosecutors. All 10 subjects were convicted and sentenced to prison.
Hey, James, I want to ask you real quick.
Sure.
We have an anti-piracy task force with the Pentagon.
We do.
Is that working?
I mean, what you saw is it's kind of like squeezing a balloon. They were focusing in on the Gulf of Aden. Piracy incidents in the Gulf of Aden have kind of gone down since that task force has started to patrol that area.
And
And they've moved now, not only have they moved south, they've moved farther offshore. using mother boats or just more gutsy attacks in the high seas. But it's a very, very pressing issue that's undermining global trade and threatening our industry and the good people, the men and women that serve on our ships.
All right, gentlemen, we certainly appreciate it. Thank you so very much, and certainly glad that your folks are now safe.